now considering banning them. The mayor of Nashville sent a letter to e-scooter companies demanding that they address safety concerns after a 26-year-old rider died after making an improper turn and being struck by a vehicle in May. Nashville Mayor David Briley joins me now. Mayor, I was just in your town. By the way, love Nashville. I saw them all over the place. What has been your experience?
Well, like many cities around the country, somebody comes up with a platform or an app that changes life in our city. We had it with short-term rentals and ride sharing, and now with scooters, we've really seen the same thing happen. And so we have over 4,000 here in Nashville, and they're clogging our sidewalks and making life for people who live and work downtown difficult. They are fun. I think people enjoy them. We have a lot of tourists coming to Nashville. But on balance, I think what we're seeing here in Nashville is that the risks and consequences of having scooters far outweigh the benefits. We have lots of folks falling and having traumatic brain injuries. We've had one death here in Nashville. And we get a lot of complaints about people who have to use the sidewalk to get around. And if you got 50 of them blocking your path every morning and using a wheelchair, that is really an imposition that we can't tolerate here in Nashville. So,
okay, but by the same token, they are so convenient and they're energy efficient. I was going to the same location as my son recently. I took an Uber. It took me 26 minutes and it cost me $20. My son took a scooter and it cost him $4.
Yeah, that's true. They are very convenient. That convenience has some risks associated with it too, though. So what we're seeing is that a lot of people leaving bars here in our tourist area are hopping on them when their judgment's not great. Very convenient for them to do it, and the consequences have been deadly in our town as a result of that convenience. I don't think that in the end we will be without scooters, electric scooters, but I think the companies are going to have to come up with a regulatory scheme that works. We probably need a way for everybody to have access to a helmet before they hop on. We probably need to have a physical location where you pick them up and drop them off. And if the business is as lucrative as it seems, I think the companies are going to find a way to come up with a better sense of regulation here in Nashville so that they can stay but not have the big negative impact that they're having on our city. I think that's the sense of where we want to go in Nashville. We want to be open to innovation, but we also want to make sure that innovation that is the result of an app developed somewhere else in the world that infiltrates our city doesn't have such a bad consequence for folks who are trying to get around our city.
Have you been on one, and what has been your own experience?
Well, my nickname as a child was Grace, so I'm not the right person to be on an electric scooter. So no, I have not gotten on one.
My wife does not allow me to use power tools at home, so I was out of town when I finally got on one in Washington, not in your great city. Hey, Mayor, right. We have a lot of reaction by social media coming into this. This is a real hot-button subject. Catherine, can we put something up on the screen while the mayor is still with me? So, okay, scooter equals Darwinism at its best, says Michael. Your reaction, Mayor Briley?
Well, people are responsible for their own decision to hop on one, but government has some obligation, I think, to set parameters for using these new instrumentalities in our city. And so we have millions of tourists coming to Nashville, and we don't want to have an environment where tourists come into Nashville having a good time or exposed to risks they don't need to have.
I'd love to have them here in Philly, but I candidly don't know how you could ride a scooter with the potholes that we have in this town and in this part of the, I mean, you don't have to deal with that in Nashville the way that we do, but they will eat up a scooter.
Well, they are dangerous in the sense they have a pretty small front wheel, and I have a friend who hit a little divot in the pavement and went across the front handlebars and lost his two front teeth. So even in Nashville, we have instances where people using them have been injured pretty quickly as a result of just a normal street that you're riding on. So, you know, I'd love to see them fit into Nashville, because I do think that I live about a mile from my office, and I've got a lot of neighbors who like to use them to get to and from downtown to work every day. And it can fit in, I think, as part of the overall transportation network we have. But the way it is operating in Nashville right now, we just have too much risk associated with it. We're a city that was built around the car. And so we still don't have the biking infrastructure that would help us with e-scooters. We still don't have enough greenways where they could, where folks can get around. So we have work to do in the core of our city to make it more pedestrian and bike friendly. And in that context, maybe they can come back and grow. But as it stands, we have a lot of folks using these e-scooters on streets where folks are driving 35, 40 miles an hour. And the risks associated with that are just really high. The young man who died was on such a street where he made a snap judgment, and the driver of the car that hit him just didn't have a chance to react quickly enough, I believe. So
I hope.
Yes, sir.
I hope that there's a middle road here that you will pursue. I would hate to see them completely banned. I do understand the concerns that that you have raised. Mayor, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mayor.